What's up everyone, Matt here back with another episode of The Spotlight, and tonight is the spotlight on the Animal Tour. That's right, it's been super hyped, it's been absolutely amazing. I hope that you tuned in to my tour reaction with Flo. We had a lot of fun taking a look at some of these buffs, but we want to dive a little bit deeper into everything, as we always do each tour. What is going on in the meta game underneath the surface with all of the buffs and all of these new courses that are going on. So tonight we're going to be taking a look, as we do every tour, at the new items. What is their starting coverage like? What is their overall value compared to other items? What are their overlaps? Then we want to take a look at some of the items which are gaining coverage or might be interesting items to take a look into tonight. And then lastly, we want to take a look at some of the top 10 items in the Ticket Time rankings. So if you haven't checked out Ticket Time, it is a algorithmic tool which basically looks at your inventory and figures out the best upgrades for your account. So the link is in the description down below. I highly recommend you check it out and join us over in Discord, where we can help to unpack your specific inventory and the best items for you. Many people are asking some questions this tour. First question that is coming out a lot is, which cart should I get? Should I get this Moo-moo Offroader? Should I get the new gold Rambi runner? Should I get this camo Tanooki cart? And which cart should I invest into? There's also the Rambi runner. There's the shielded speedster for the first time in the Spotlight shop. So there's some amazing carts you can get your hands on. We'll call it Karts aplenty this tour. And there are also two brand new gliders. People asking, are either of these any value? And then lastly, what we're hearing people saying is, of the gliders that are starting to show up in the Spotlight shop, the Black Starchute, the Lava Rocks showing up this tour for the first time, and we've also got the Boo masks, which is absolutely on an incredible streak right now. And these three gliders do overlap a lot, so people are starting to really look at their coverage and start to ask the question, which one should I invest into? So let's have a play around with these gliders tonight. Let's take a look. But before we do, there's been another question in the community which has come up in our server. I just wanted to show you on my screen right now over on Discord what this question was, and it came from Skogland. Shout out to you, dude. Love having you in our server, such an awesome part of what we do. And his question was, now that we're in the fourth tour since the 3.0 update, how much do rank rewards, gold pass, and commemorative items, how much have they changed in the case of coverage? So what he's really asking there is, are ranked rewards potentially more valuable now? What about commemoratives, seeing as we no longer have paywalled pack items apart from those commemoratives? And Flo's done a great job of breaking this down a little bit for us, and long story short, it's inconclusive right now. However, there does seem to be a shift. So taking a look, if we look at the green speeder, PD Piranha Gold, and orange Yoshi, these have been ranked rewards. And as we know, very, very mixed value right now. The green speeders had average value, PD Piranha's had really good value, and then orange Yoshi has had pretty bad value so far. Then if we look at the ranked rewards where you had to place first to fifth, that was the red Vampire Flyer, red Toad Pit Crew, and orange Turbo Yoshi. Again, the red Vampire Flyer is actually looking really interesting. We're going to look at its coverage tonight. Red Toad Pit Crew and the orange Turbo Yoshi, pretty average at this stage. Then looking at commemorative, we've had the Flaming Speeder, Streetle, and the Blazing Eagle. They're sitting okay in the Ticket Time rankings right now, 37, 38, and 71. Then the Gold Pass, we've had the Gold Sweet Ride, Gold Trickster, and Gold Eagle in 30th, 29th, and 93rd place. Then if we look at the Spotlight shop, Luigi Chef, Chocolate Pretzel, Parapanini, Silver Candlelight Flight, Blue Speeder, and Swift Talon, pretty middle of the road sort of value there. So those are the items released from the Battle of the Autumn tour. There isn't a clear trend yet. In comparison to previous items of the same category, I would say ranked rewards, commemorative, and gold pass increased their value. Previously, the best items were only obtainable in pipes. If you consider the Spotlight shop as a successor of pipes, I'd say their value is clearly lower than pipe items. This is really fascinating, guys, because you would think that 150 rubies would be that exclusivity which makes those items worth it. But because anyone can go ahead and just spend that 100 rubies or 150 rubies on that new item, they don't necessarily have the best value. If Nintendo is able to lock it behind commemorative, which is real money, or behind ranked, which is reward or gold pass, which again you have to invest, which could potentially be connected to money, or in the case of gold pass and the commemorative packs, it is connected to money, then that makes sense. So it is actually showing that if you pay a bit of money, you will get bang for your buck, which is still the same as it was. So I thought that was an interesting thing to share and to start off with. I hope that you find that useful, but we need more data points. We need more information to really find out what is the long-term value. But I would say for now, if we look at this tour, really the commemorative and the ranked seem to be the most interesting things to look at, which is kind of good to see because you've had to invest to go in on that. So let's go ahead and take a look at the new items and really start to answer some of these questions. The first one being Kitsune Luigi. How cool is he? Is he any good? So we're going to jump over here to Larry98 spreadsheet. Massive thank you to Larry98 and everything you do in the community. Thank you to Sam70IT for the data that you help Larry to put together with the sheet. But Larry, my man, you do so much work for this community, and we're so grateful for what you do for us. Also, I want to shout out Flo, of course. Couldn't be an episode without looking at the ticket time rankings. So thank you so much for helping us continually make great decisions about our investments. And we will be looking, as always that we do, we will be comparing some of these items to where they sit in the ticket time rankings, which is to say, how good is that item if it was a new account and we leveled it up in isolation, how great is that item? But of course, we want to look at the overlaps as well to make sure that we don't just look in isolation. So taking a look at Kitsune Luigi, firstly, he looks really cool. He has 4 overlaps with Yoshi Kangaroo. He has 3 with Luigi Knight, so a couple boomerang overlaps there already. And then the rest is just 2 overlaps, though he does have a couple with Bowser Santa and a couple with Charging Chuck Gold. I know for my account, he looks quite nice, especially my free-to-play account, where I have some courses that he's got that I don't have high-level coverage at. So it's actually a pretty solid start. Right now on the ticket time rankings, he is sitting at number 131, which is not crazy, but he does have the 3 ranked appearances as well as 10 ACR appearances as well. He has, of course, many buffs to see, and he starts out with, 2 of those Riverside Parks, 2 Yoshi Valleys, 2 Bowser Remix Bowser Castles, Baby Park, and Dino Jungle. So what's really cool to see within that is the only old course is the Dino Jungle R. So hopefully this bodes really well for Kitsune Luigi's value, that he starts to get some really cool tracks, and I'm hoping he turns out a lot better than Mario Tanooki. For now, I'm going to be passing. Let me know in the comments below, did you purchase Kitsune Luigi or did you pass him up? So that's Kitsune Luigi. Now let's move on to the Moo-moo Me Racing suit. So it's the one that you can get in ranked, so it could be really interesting to see what value it does get. I will be absolutely going after ranked this week on both accounts to see if I can secure him to get those base points. But of course, being a mushroom cannon driver, you kind of question whether it's going to be anything anyone invests into, especially when he only starts with 7 courses. Right now he is sitting at number 77 on the ticket time rankings, which really isn't too bad, being that he's a me driver with those extra base points. It is sitting slightly higher. He has 2 ranked appearances as well as 8 in ACR, and you can see there he's got the Riverside Park T, Dino Jungle, Choco Mountain R, Wee Mushroom Gorge R and T, Riverside Park RT, and Dino Jungle RT. So yeah, very okay value, but like I say, because it's a me racing suit with the small amount of buffs that Nintendo give these items, it probably is going to be a pass on investment. He has 3 overlaps with Funky Kong, very little overlap with plus skills, though 2 with Meowser and 2 with Charging Chuck Gold, which will possibly be some overlaps there between those 2 drivers as well. So that's the Moo-moo Me Racing suit. Now we're going to go take a look at the brand new carts, and the first one, speaking of Moo-moos, we're going to be looking at the Moo-moo Offroader. That's right, the crazy cart that no one asked for, but it looks like a cow and it cracked me up when I saw it. It's a really interesting cart. Unfortunately, it's not super useful for my account personally, but there's some really interesting value in here. So let's take a look. It is number 52 on the ticket time rankings, which is a very strong start. It could easily jump up into the top 20 in a couple of tours. It has 2 ranked appearances as well as 10 in ACR. And then if we take a look at its course coverage, it starts with 10 courses. It's got Riverside Park and the R and T version, though the level 8 unlock is the normal Riverside Park there. Then it's got Yoshi Circuit R, Choco Mountain Normal and Reverse, Yoshi Valley R, and then Wee Mushroom Gorge R and T, as well as Yoshi Circuit RT. So, bit disappointing. It's great that it's got those Riverside Parks, but really disappointing to see it didn't get any of the DK Mountains. That's the real challenge for this cart, being that, you know, you're probably already going to be covered on the Yoshi circuits, which I got 2 off, the Choco Mountains, and the Yoshi Valleys and Mushroom Gorges. It could go either way, but for me, I'm already invested in the Armored Rider and some other carts as well. So there's definitely some overlaps there. So for me, what I did like about its start is, if we take a look, it doesn't have crazy amounts of overlaps with any one cart. It had 5 with the Black Turbo Yoshi, 4 with the Cactar, and 4 with the Warrior Wagon. So maybe if you're invested in Cactar or Warrior Wagon as 2 bigger carts, perhaps then you'll be less interested in this one here. It also has 3 with the Sakura Hop Rod, which I know I invested on my free-to-play account. It has 2 with the Rambi Rider, and yeah, it's got a few with some other smaller carts as well as 2 with the Koopa King there. So what I liked is I don't see many really big carts in there that could cause problems for a long term, stop you ever investing further. So I think this is one that's a pretty safe bet to purchase at the inception, and then maybe leave it at level 1 or level 3 depending on how many you purchase, and then I would say wait and see. For those who have gone all in and taken it to level 6, 7, 8, I would say that either they don't already have, you know, Cactar, Warrior Wagon, some of these other ones at a high level, or they don't have coverage in ranked and they really need it for those ranked appearances there, which it has 2 of. So that's the Moo-moo Offroader. I'm already invested in the yellow Offroader and others as well, so might not make as much sense for me to invest into, but we'll have to see what happens. I'll keep an eye on it for sure. Let's move on to the other new cart this tour, which is the Camo Tanooki cart. This is a pretty cool one, and I really wanted this one to be good for my account because I think it just looks really sick. It's got the mini turbo plus skill, which is probably the best kart skill apart from jump boost, though it doesn't make a huge difference in scoring. And then in terms of its starting value, it has 9 courses. It has Rock Mountain R and T, Dino Jungle T, DK Mountain R and T, though the T version is the level 8 unlock there. And then it's got Choco Mountain T, Yoshi Valley R, DK Mountain RT, and Choco Mountain RT. So on the surface, it sounds like it's got some really good value there. However, it might come down to whether you need it or not in rank to see whether you pick it up. It has 2 ranked appearances as well as 9 in ACR. But yeah, it's got 4 overlaps with that gold Rambi Rider, the Jade Hop Rod, and the Rambi Runner, and that really, my friends, is the killer for me for my account. 4 overlaps with the Rambi Runner basically makes this cart obsolete at the start for me. Of course, it could get amazing value and I could eat my words and end up investing into it, given that Rambi Runner has an insane amount of tracks. We'll take a look at that cart later, by the way, but yeah, 4's not that much for the Rambi Runner. However, that doesn't bode well for the value of the Camo Tanooki cart. So you've got to look at that in the inception. So I don't know that this is going to be an amazing cart. I think it's going to be a middle of the road type value cart. But hopefully, if it's good value, it comes back in the Spotlight shop. It's in ranked, and then we can purchase it and take a look at it there. 3 overlaps with the Bad Wagon, Clackety Cart, Flaming Speeder, and 3 with the Gold Bullet Blaster as well. So that's the Camo Tanooki cart. I think it's a really cool looking cart, but like I say, not the best value. All right, and then moving right along, we've got the Gold Rambi Rider. So Gold Rambi, the Camo Tanooki, by the way, starts at place number 74 on our ticket time rankings, which is actually higher than this Gold Rambi, which is sitting on place number 95. The Moo-moo sitting the highest at 52nd place, so significantly higher than the other two. You can kind of see how the value kind of works there. Interesting to also see their spotlight item starting in a higher level than the Gold Rambi Rider. Unfortunately, this one just hasn't had the greatest starting value. You can see it's got jump boost, which is great. It's got 8 retro courses to start. We've got 2 Rock Mountains, a Riverside Park T, Baby Park, Dino Jungle R, DK Mountain T, which is the level 8 unlock, and then it's got Dino Jungle RT and Choco Mountain RT. So yeah, I mean, some great courses, but unfortunately a lot of older courses there, with only the Riverside Park T and DK Mountain T being of any interest at all. So in a tour with lots of new items, really disappointing. And then in terms of its overlaps, it has 4 with the Camo Tanooki Kart, 4 with the Jade Hot Rod, 4 with the Rambi Runner, 3 with the Rambi Rider. So yeah, really, that's again the problem for my account, those overlaps with the Rambi Runner. Also interesting to see those Camo Tanooki Kart, while the Camo Tanooki Kart has much more interesting value. So for me, my recommendation at this stage with these carts for most people is going to be to pick up the Moo-moo Offroader and then wait and see, and then leave the Camo Tanooki, but keep an eye on its coverage to see if it gets better. And if it does, we will again, of course, talk about it in the tour when it comes up in the Spotlight shop and it's gained a lot of value. So stay tuned for that. We'll see how it goes, but at the moment, I would say pick this one up, stash it, but it's possibly not going to come in much use unless it gets some really good buffing value in the future. Alrighty, let's move right along. Now we're going to move into our gliders. So we've got the brand new gliders this tour, the first one being the Calico Toe Beam Balloons. And a lot of chatter was happening around the fact that we have a glider and a cart showing up as a commemorative item this tour. I don't think we've had that in a long time, if ever. Perhaps in a New Year's tour or something like that, we've had that. But yeah, it's got the Super Horn skill. It starts out with 10 courses, and it's starting at number 47 on our ticket time rankings with 10 ACR appearances and 2 of those in ranked. So it's got Riverside Park R and T, Sky Garden and Sky Garden T, Baby Park R, Choco Mountain R and T, Remix Bowser's Castle 1 and 1T, and Yoshi Circuit RT. So some great courses in there, some okay courses in there. The key thing with gliders, as always, is the overlaps with other great gliders. So it's got 3 overlaps with the Cream Toe Beam Balloons, 3 with the Red and Gold Umbrella, 3 with the Pink Gold Meteors, 3 with the Black Starchute, and then 3 with the Blooper Wingtop Tip, 2 with the Autumn Leaves, 2 with the 8-bit Mushroom and the Super Mushroom and the 1-up Mushroom, and so on and so forth. So I think this is a okay start. I think if you're not invested in Black Starchute, 8-bit 1-up Mushroom, this could be a really interesting one to pick up. But I think for most people, they're already looking at those other gliders and seeing which ones they need to pick up and invest into now that they're so easy to pick up in the Spotlight shop, being that they're in ranked and then they're in the Spotlight shop every week so far. It makes it very easy to pick some of these other items up. So that's the Calico Toe Beam Balloons, starting in 47th place in the ticket time rankings. Isn't too bad. The Autumn Leaves, on the other hand, starts out in 57th place, so not quite as strong. I've heard people say it's got a really cool animation, so they hope it turns out like the Record Setter. I mean, maybe, guys, but the reality is it's taken 9 months to see the Record Setter really get to the point that it's at with its coverage. Gliders take a long time, so it's really hard to say, and it's unlikely necessarily that this becomes the glider to pick up, when the glider might be one that we've already got in the game, or it might be one that comes next week. But in terms of its starting value, it starts out with 10 ACR appearances and 10 courses, and 2 of those being in ranked. It has Rock Mountain R and T, Riverside Park R, Dino Jungle R, Choco Mountain T, Yoshi Valley and T, and then Mushroom Gorge T, as well as Riverside Park RT and DK Mountain RT. So some pretty solid starting value, some good coverage kind of there. In terms of its overlaps, it has 3 with the Meteor Balloons, 3 with the Silver Candlelight Flight, the Sky High Flight, the Wonderful Wings, and the Cap Parafoil. Then it has 2 with the 8-bit Bullet Bill, and a few others. We won't go all through that list. For me at this stage, I'm probably going to pass on this glider. If it becomes useful, then I can pick it up in the future. Gliders really are a wait and see type approach. So skipping gliders doesn't hurt as much as kind of skipping carts can, where they have their early value and gliders might have that kind of later value. So that is the Autumn Leaves. That is our new items this tour, guys. So let me know what you're picking up in the comments down below. Now we're going to move into some of the most interesting items which are gaining value in the ticket time rankings and are showing up in ranked and in ACR. And the first one is PD Piranha Gold. That's right, he's only come out 2 tours ago and he's already starting to get pretty hot. So let's go and take a look at how he's showing up now. If you've picked him up and he's still sitting at level 1 or level 2, should you level him up for ranked this week, or rather in the week 2 ranked cup? So he is already number 17th in the ticket time rankings. He has changed, he's gone up 9 places in that rankings, and he has only 3 ACR appearances, but 1 of those is in ranked. So still not the strongest overall coverage, and a lot of his original courses were ones that haven't shown up this tour. We've got a different set of courses, so it doesn't surprise me that he's got a low amount of ACR appearances. That doesn't scare me at all. He's still only got 11 retro tracks along with the 5 nitro courses from the city tour last tour. Those courses aren't necessarily going to show up right now, but they will in future. He has 169 courses to see, so still heaps to see. And then in terms of his coverage, this tour he picked up a couple of great courses there. Just taking a look, he picked up the Riverside Park and the Riverside Park T, as well as Piranha Plant Slide. These are some really great courses, guys, and especially with that ranked appearance, which is an exclusive Coinbox course, that is a really big win for him. I will definitely be leveling him up on my free-to-play account before Gold Chuck, who just has had that overlap with Meowser, but because Meowser was there, PD Piranha has kind of won this tour when it comes to the buffs for that particular account. In terms of his overlaps, he has 4 with Peach Halloween, as we covered when he came out, 3 with Hammer Bro Me Racing Suit, 3 with Dry Bones Me Racing Suit, and 3 with Rosalina Halloween. And then looking further down the list, he has 2 with Charging Shack Gold, 2 with Dry Bones Gold, 2 with King Boo Gold, and 2 with Mario Tuxedo. So a little bit of Coinbox overlap there, but nothing really killer right now. He's got some great exclusives there. So PD Piranha Gold, let me know, are you investing into him? He's looking really hot, so we'll have to keep an eye on him as he progresses. Right, moving along, now we're going to take a look at some of the carts that are gaining value this tour. And the first one that I wanted to cover is the Rambi runner. That's right, we gotta love it. I love this glider. I love this cart. I took it to level 7 and triple capped it just last tour. It was already triple capped. I just finally actually took it to level 7, which was great. Has the mini turbo skill. It has 26 retro courses as well as 5 nitro courses. So this tour, it picked up Riverside Park R and Riverside Park RT, which are 2 great courses, brand new courses. Crazy to see 2 new courses that the Rambi runner picked up, and both of them being in ranked. So a lot of people are still thinking, hey, is it too late to invest into the Rambi runner? I would say absolutely not. This cart is absolutely phenomenal. The thing that did hurt it a little bit this week was some of those overlaps in ranked with the yellow off-roader. However, it has, if you take a look at this list, it has 8 overlaps with that black penguin slider, 7 with the cleanup hitter, 7 with the cream bee dasher, 7 with the Cactice. So these are really the ones you want to watch out for, and then slightly lesser, the Lunar Cruiser, Ice Dozer, so on and so forth. 5 with the White Bruiser now. It was only 3 last tour, so there's 2 overlaps there now. 5 with the Vampire Flyer, so some of these bigger carts. You can see there's kind of like an ice theme there. I would argue the Rambi Runner is probably the best ice themed kart you can invest into. Some of these other ones are older and have a smaller amount of coverage, which the Rambi Runner just absolutely dominates. So Rambi Runner is sitting at number 46 on our ticket time rankings. It jumped an incredible 27 places. However, I think that it's going to drop back down again, given that it probably won't get any more ranked or new coverage in the coming tours. However, with 8 ACR appearances this tour and 2 of those being ranked, it's absolutely crazy how strong this thing is. I'm really loving using it on DK on Rock Mountain with Charging Chuck Gold and the Wonderful Wings. What an amazing loadout. So there we go, there is the Rambi Runner. Let me know if you're picking it up this tour. I think it's still a very valuable cart. Looking at another incredible cart, we've got the Tanooki cart. We had a great chat over on Studfit server this week about the Tanooki cart, and Antilev pointed out that the Tanooki cart has 0 city tracks. So I thought it'd be a really interesting one to take a look at. 27 courses with none of them being cities. It's pretty insane value. Really, the challenge for the Tanooki cart, you can see right at the top of its list, with its overlap is 7 overlaps with the yellow off-roader. So this is why we do want to look at some of that coverage before we invest into an item or pick up an item, because if you're already hard invested into the yellow off-roader, it's not going to make sense to pick this one up here. However, there it is, the Tanooki cart. It's got some really good value, and it's a good, I guess, alternative to the yellow off-roader, which you can build your account around. This tour, I'm not too sure if it picked up any buffs this tour. Let's take a look. I don't see any new ones in there. Oh yeah, here we go, DK Mountain. So it looks like it got the DK Mountain buff there. So just a 1 course buff, which isn't a massive amount of extra coverage. But yeah, I mean, it's sitting at number 39 on our ticket time rankings. It has 4 ACR appearances, with 2 of those being ranked, and it did go up 12 positions this tour. So there we go, there's the Tanooki cart. Let us know if you're investing into that or picking that one up from the Spotlight shop, seeing as it's shown up there. Now we're going to take a look at the Tiger Bruiser. Tiger Bruiser is another one with a similar kind of theming, that kind of yellow theme, desert tracks, things like that. So it does also have a lot of overlap with the yellow off-roader, 5 overlaps in fact, and then as well as 5 overlaps with the Warrior Wagon, 5 with the Tanooki cart, 4 with the Cactar, 4 with the original off-roader, 4 with the Rambi Rider, 4 with the brown off-roader, 4 with the tropical truck. So this one unfortunately has been hurt quite a lot by its overlaps. It has 23 courses, which really isn't too bad for a kart. It's almost at the end of its buff potential. It only has 11 kind of very low appearance rate RT courses to kind of see, which are all old RTs essentially. Right now it is sitting at number 32 on our ticket time rankings. It's gone up 23 places, 6 ACR appearances, 2 of those being in ranked. So it's an okay kart. In terms of the buffs, let's take a look at what it got. So DK Mountain again, so that overlap with the Tanooki kart there, and yeah, I think that's it for this tour, so nothing to really write home about. Tiger Bruiser might be interesting to pick up. I think for most people, if you're invested in Yellow Off-Roader and Warrior Wagon, Tanooki kart, you're probably going to skip this one. All right, let's move right along. Next up, I want to take a look at one of the ones that's almost cracking into our top 10. It's not a big kart, so brace yourself. This is the Gold Bullet Blaster. So if you remember, this is one that debuted with Gold Charging Chuck and that non-spotlight pipe, and this kart was also a non-spotlight item. So being that it was kind of in that period with a pretty tough pipe, and in theory you might not have gotten this kart easily, though I think a lot of people did end up getting this kart. in theory, to Nintendo, it might be that not very many people do have it, so they have buffed it quite well. So right now it has 17 retro courses, 5 of those being nitro courses as well. And then if we take a look, this tour, it got DK Mountain T, and I think that's it. I think that's everything it got this tour. Right now it's sitting at number 12 on our ticket time rankings, with 14 going up 14 places, 7 ACR appearances, and 2 of those being in ranked. So this one here is an interesting one to look at. It has 5 overlaps with the classic B-Dasher Mark II. Some of those will be cities. It has 5 with the Flaming Speeder and the green yellow capsule, 4 with the Cact B, 4 with the red Offroader, and 4 with the gold standard. What else is interesting in here? 4 with the red Vampire Flyer, 3 with the Piranha Pipes, 3 with the Jukebox Buggy, 3 with the Silver King, the Lightning Streamliner, the yellow Offroader. So you can see there's a decent amount of overlap there. However, if you're not invested in Cact B or red Offroader, or red Vampire Fly for that matter, it might be quite an interesting one that fills some nice spots on your account in terms of coverage. The course list is actually very nice, with only a couple of older courses, and it will continue to get buffed. So I would see this one will crack into our top 10, even given that it has the disadvantage of being a smaller kart. So for me, I'm not investing into it, but I have seen some other people are invested into it. It's quite nice to drive, and I think that it's one of those ones you can use, with a giant banana or a boomerang driver, and it can work really well outside of coin boxing. So the Gold Bullet Blaster, go check it out, see if it's any interest for your account. All right, let's move right along, and now we've got the gliders. So let's take a look at the gliders that are gaining value, and the next one I want to look at is the Lava Rocks. So the Lava Rocks is currently sitting in our ticket time rankings at number 23. It has jumped up 18 places with 6 ACR appearances and 2 of those being in ranked, and it has 17 courses. It has quite interesting coverage. A lot of Bowser's Castle. It got DK Mountain and DK Mountain T this tour. It's got some mix of other bits and pieces there as well. The most overlap is with the Black Starchute. 6 overlaps there. It has 6 with the Black Cat Parafoil, 5 with the Flyberry Book, 5 with the Boo Masks, and then 3 with a bunch there, including the 8-bit Bullet Boo and the 8-bit Fireflower, and the Golden Wings and the 8-bit 1-up Mushroom. A lot of very meta gliders there. So unfortunately for the Lava Rocks, there is a heck of a lot of overlap with other items. Really, what this one's going to come down to is, are you going to invest into the Lava Rocks, the Black Starchute, or the Boo Masks? Now, when that question comes up for people, what I recommend you do is take a look at the list of courses and look at them and think, do you like the look of these courses? So what looks great for this is it's got those Bowser Castles, including 3 of the Bowser Castle 3 courses, and then it also has 2 of the DK Mountain courses, as well as the normal Yoshi Valley, the Bowser's Castle 1T. So some pretty good value there, but it's still up in the air about the long-term value of this item. I would debate this item. I think it's pretty strong. I think from my perspective, the Lava Rocks, the Black Starchute, the Boo Mask, you're going to have to look at which of these 3 you're going to invest into and what makes sense. And I think that for the Lava Rocks, I think right now the Boo Mask and the Black Starchute have a slight advantage over them. If we take a look over on Ticket Time, we can see that right now the Boo Mask is in 2nd place and the Black Starchute is in 8th place. So 2 very, very strong gliders, both in the top 10. Lava Rocks just sitting a little bit below that, currently in the 23rd place. Then moving right along to the Silver Candlelight Flight. This one is currently in the 20th place in the Ticket Time rankings. We know it came out a couple tours ago, and a lot of people passed on it, myself included. Let's take a look at how its value is now. People were quite dubious about this one, and you can see it has 14 courses now, 4 Nitro courses as well. It has jumped up 23 places this tour. and it has 1 ranked appearance there. So it's picked up, let's take a look, it's picked up Rock Mountain R, Piranha Plant Slide, it's picked up DK Mountain R, DK Mountain RT, so some very good buffs, and Mushroom Gorge T, so a lot of buffs this tour. This thing is really getting into its stride now and getting some really good value there for a starting point. Has 4 overlaps with the Candlelight Flight, 4 with the Vampire Wings, the Black Starchute, the Boo Masks, 3 with the Flying Flappers and the Autumn Leaves, and 3 with the Black Cat Parafoil, 2 with the 8-bit 1-up, and a bunch of others too. So yeah, I mean, it's got a really strong start, and it's got some great buffs this tour. So the Silver Candlelight Flight may be one to watch. It's already in 20th place, so it could easily crack into that top 10 in a coming tour. So keep watching it. It really comes down to how many courses is Nintendo going to bring out, because that will continue to boost the value of these items, which are hitting their buff stride right now. All right, and another one that is gaining a lot of value that we want to take a look at, I haven't even looked at this one yet, but it is one that's been around a long time, is the 8-bit Fireflower. This thing is insane, guys. It cracked 40 courses. It is up to 31 retro courses and 11 cities. It has absolutely insane value. Look at that course list, guys. It has no buff potential to see. It's seen every course in the game. However, it continues to get buffed on new courses. So it went up 4 positions to number 13 on the ticket time rankings this tour. It has 2 ACR appearances, and 1 of those being in ranked. And then even with those 6 overlaps with the Golden Wings, it's still a very strong glider. It has 6 with the Black Great Sail as well, 6 with the 8-bit Bullet Bill, the Springtime Crane, and the Black Cat Parafoil. But yeah, it's still extremely strong just because the sheer amount of courses it has. This is one where you don't want to be afraid necessarily that it has those overlaps. You just want to get invested into it. And it keeps showing up in ranked. So I'm glad I'm already invested into it. And even on my free to play, I'm going to take it to a higher level this tour for my ranked cup as well. So this tour, it showed up on DK Mountain. That was a huge buff for it. I think that's the only buff it got this tour, but it's just slowly just chips away and gets more and more courses. So I thought we should mention it. Perhaps it wouldn't make sense of this at this point if you're already invested into some of these other meta gliders. However, if you're not, then this could be the one for you. All right, let's move along. And we've got one more glider to take a look at before we look at our top 10. And that one is the Black Cat Parafoil. That's right, it's showing up now in the Spotlight shop. So I thought we'd take a look at it. It is just about to crack into the top 10 in 11th place, jumping up 11 places with 10 ACR appearances and 2 of those being in ranked. So if we take a look at its coverage, it has 26 courses, 5 nitros. And then if we look at what it got this tour, it got DK Mountain and DK Mountain T. Some really solid buffs there. It has 7 overlaps with the Candlelight Flight, 7 with the Tanooki Parafoil, 6 with the Wario Moustache, the Pink Gold Meteors, Golden Wings, 8-bit Fireflower, Black Toe Bean Balloons, 5 with the Dry Bowser Umbrella, and a bunch of others. So there is, again, a lot of overlap, which is why maybe a lot of people might be watching this thinking, why would you look at the Black Cat Parafoil? And that's probably because it's not even on your radar, being you're already invested into a lot of these other meta items. So for me, I'm not invested in this item, but it's cool seeing it in ranked. It's cool seeing it get some new courses. It's only got 11 courses left to see, so this is not a new glider. However, it's still getting some really solid buffs this tour, being it's got that kind of animal theme to it. Alright guys, that is it for the items which are gaining value. Now let's take a look at the ones in our top 10. So I'm going to jump over to ticket time and we'll take a look first of all at the top 10 drivers. So in 10th place we've got Petey Piranha, where he has dropped down 8 places this tour from where he was at. Meowser, even though he has had that buff this tour in ranked, he has dropped down 2 places to number 9. Then the question mark Block Me Racing Suit, not really relevant this tour, which is a bit of a shame, dropping down 2 places. Rosalina Volendam dropping down 3 places, And then as we move in, we've got number 6, Daisy Tigress, jumping up 4 places. Unfortunately, no ranked appearances, which seems to be the thing that Daisy Tigress does. She's kind of like almost like an ACR boss, not necessarily a ranked boss at the moment. And then, so she's got some good value there. And then we've got Yoshi Kangaroo in 5th place, Charging Shark Gold in 4th place, up both of those up 4 places. Then Mario Samurai holding steady in 3rd place, Luigi Knight jumping up 3 places to number 2, and then in number 1, driving the game, you're probably sick of it by now, the Gold Mii racing suit. So let's go ahead and take a look at some of these drivers. I'm going to jump across and let's take a look at Daisy Tigress to kind of see what's going on with her these days. I'm not invested into her on either accounts, though I do know that pretty much everyone on my friends list is invested in Daisy Tigress. So let's take a look at where she's at and have a look at that. So she's got 20 courses right now, being at number 6 on the ticket time rankings. She has jumped up 4 places and she has 5 ACR appearances, with none of those being in ranked. If we take a look at her coverage there, she got the Riverside Park Normal and the Riverside Park RT, which are the 2 variants which didn't show up in ranked. This is why the ticket time rankings will still give that great value. I asked Flo a while back, why don't we create a different version of ticket time which is just for ranked? And the point he made, which is a brilliant point, it makes complete sense, is that we shouldn't necessarily treat ranked in the current tour the same as better in terms of the value of those buffs than the other buffs that an item might receive, which are not in ranked that tour, because those other courses may easily come back in a future tour, and it might be that variant that shows up in ranked, which completely makes sense. So while she got no ranked appearances this tour, it could make sense that she has gotten 2 great courses which both could show up in ranked this point, and they being, potentially exclusive courses for her at the time when they're in ranked. That could be huge for those who are invested. So maybe while it doesn't make sense to invest into this tour for ranked, it could make sense in the future to invest for those courses when they do show up. So it's more of a mental note to think, yes, is her value. Now, I know for me, the Sunset Wild course, I don't have a great coin boxer on that there. So, and then, she would give me some value on some coconut malls and other courses like that. So she could make sense, even for my account in the future, if she gets those ranked appearances. So we'll have to see what happens with her coverage personally for me. However, she is a great investment to make in a tour where she is showing up in ranked for anyone. 6 overlaps with Dr. Peach, 5 with Yoshi Kangaroo, which hurts my account a little bit there, 4 with Mario Samurai, 3 with Gold Mii Racing Suit Meowser, 3 with Yoshi Gold Egg. She has 74 courses left to see, so heaps and heaps of buff potential. I think she will cap out at a pretty solid amount of courses, and her value will be pretty strong. So Daisy Tigress, there you go, number 6 on the ticket time rankings. Moving into number 5, and we just mentioned him, you guessed it, it is Yoshi Kangaroo. He is a A-lister in this game, guys. He is number 5 on the ticket time rankings, up 4 places with 5 ACR appearances, and one of those being a ranked appearance as well. This tour he got Riverside Park and Riverside Park R, which is phenomenal to see. 28 courses and 15 nitros. Absolutely insane at this point. He has no courses left to see, but he's just got so much value at this point. In terms of his overlaps, 7 with Wario Cowboy and Toadette Explorer, 6 with Mario Baseball, then Luigi Vacation, 5 there, Gold Koopa Freerunning, 5 there, King Bob-omb Gold, 5, Daisy Tigress, 5 overlaps, Gold Mii Racing Suit, 4, Kamek, 4, Meowser, 4, Mario Karma 3. These numbers seem really high, but you got to take into account the sheer amount of courses he does have. It really does, there's going to be overlap at that point with the amount of courses he has. So he's a very efficient drive to invest into. I know for me, I'd prefer to be using these coin boxes when I can. However, if you're newer to the game, he's one that if you had him at level 6, double capped, he's going to just be an absolute monster for your account. I hope you don't mind boom boxing too much, because you're going to be spending a lot of time doing that. So that's Yoshi Kangaroo, he's number 5. Now we're going to look at number 4 on our ticket time rankings, and that was Charging Chuck Gold. So he's had some really good buffs this tour. This tour he has 9 ACR appearances. Unfortunately, there's only that one ranked appearance there this week, but he with Miyaza and next week with Tuxedo. However, 2 ranked appearances, you can't really complain about that. So this tour he got DK Mountain and DK Mountain R, some really good buffs there. He has 19 courses and 5 nitros. He has 5 overlaps with Charging Chuck. He has some other overlaps, 4 with Luigi Knight, 4 with Pink Shy Guy Ninja, 3 with Mario King, 3 with Miyaza and Yoshi Gold Egg, and then 2 with Bowser Santa, 2 with Daisy Tigress, 2 with Kamek, 2 with Dry Bones Gold, and 2 with the question mark Block Me Racing Suit. I'm really stoked with Charging Chuck Gold. I hope he continues to grow. He's probably my best driver that's up and coming right now. So I'm really excited to invest further into him. Moving on, let's take a look at Luigi Knight. And that's right, he is in our 2nd place on the ticket time rankings already. Jumped up 3 places there with 7 ACR appearances and 1 of those being in ranked. So 18 courses already, 7 nitros as well. This tour he got the DK Mountain RT, which is that great ACR course there. Some really amazing coverage. He has the 5 overlaps with Dr. Bowser, 4 with Charging Chuck, 4 with King Boo Me Racing Suit, 4 with Charging Chuck Gold, 4 with Yoshi Gold Egg, and then we have to look a lot further down the list to see many more overlaps with some of those coin box. So he does have a bit of Lucky 7 overlap, but really not much coin box overlap, which is the cool thing with him. So there is our top 10 drivers. Now let's move on to the top 10 karts, and this one that I've been really excited to take a look at. In number 9th place on our ticket time ranking is the Red Vampire Flyer. The Red Vampire Flyer has only been out for 2 tours. It's got 169 courses to see still. It has 13 retro courses already and 3 nitros from last tour. This tour it got DK Mountain and DK Mountain T, which are 2 phenomenal buffs there. It has it's currently sitting at number 9 on our ticket time ranking, so already really high. It's jumped 32 places to achieve that, and 4 ACR appearances as well. So Red Vampire Flyer, absolutely huge. A lot of people are looking at whether they should invest into it. It has 4 overlaps with the Gold Trickster, 4 with the Streetle, the Gold Double Decker, Shielded Speedster, Gold Bullet Blaster. This one might be a nice alternative to look at to the Shielded Speedster if it fits a nicer kind of niche within your inventory. Could be really good. We had the Shielded Speedster, didn't get any buffs this tour, so quite interesting comparison there with the Red Vampire Flying getting 2 really solid buffs. So we'll have to see what happens with it. I know that it has some overlap, 3 with the Piranha Pipes and 3 with the Red Offroader. Some other items kind of there that are a little bit interesting. For me, I've invested in the Red Offroader, but I'm seriously considering the Red Vampire Fly. I think for me, I'll still wait a couple tours, but this one is on my watch list. So let's jump back over to ticket time and take a look at the rest of our top 10 karts. So there we go, that Red Vampire Fly just pipping the Strawberry Surf Soft Swerve, which has dropped down 4 places. Then we've got the Green Yellow Capsules kart, which has dropped down 3 places this tour. The Lightning Streamliner has dropped down 4 places as well. Then we've got the Yellow Offroader jumping 9 places back into the top 10. Here we are again talking about this kart, guys. When are we going to stop talking about the Yellow Offroader? But how can you not talk about it with this thing's coverage? So here we go. Let's do it again. Let's talk about the Yellow Offroader and why it is really, I would say, the winning kart. Not just this tour, but this year. And this is why. Look at this insane list of courses. 29 retros, 4 cities, which is a very low amount of cities compared to the retros there. This tour, it picked up Riverside Park T, as well as having 2 at the Riverside Park RT and also having, of course, that Choco Mountain ranked appearance as well. So really, really good value. We're not going to cover off much of its overlaps because we've already talked that one to death, but it's a huge card. It's just incredible, so super useful, and it's currently number 6 with jumping 9 places, and it's got those 2 ranked appearances and 4 ACR appearances this tour. Cool. Then we've got the White Bruiser in number 5th place. Let's take a look at this one. It's jumped up 4 places this tour. And I'm invested on my free-to-play account to level 6 and double capped. It's the number 1 cart in the game right now for my main account. I need to take from level 4 to level 6 and double cap. If I had the tickets, if it had the exclusives and ranked, then I would be doing that. Really, the issue for that account is there's 5 overlaps with the Rambi runner. So it's got 21 retros, 9 cities. It has 43 courses left to see. It has 4 ACR appearances this tour. And then in terms of its coverage, it got Riverside Park R, and it also has got Riverside Park RT. So 2 of those Riverside Park courses, which is really great. Phenomenal kart, guys. It's phenomenal. It's really, really good. Perhaps if you're invested in Rambi, perhaps if you're invested in Flowerberry Bandwagon or some of these other ones, Coral Jet Cruiser, maybe it won't make sense. But I think for most accounts, it's been a really, really strong kart this year. Okay, so that's the White Bruiser. Let's jump back across. We've got then in 4th place, the Green Cat Cruiser, jumping up 3 places there. The Warrior Wagon dropping down 2 places from the number 1 spot, still very, very strong. In 3rd place, 33 courses is absolutely insane. Then we've got the Magma Broom jumping up 2 places there, and the Shielded Speedster. So let's go take a quick look at both of these ones. We don't usually talk about the brooms, so let's have a look at the Magma Broom here. Take a look at how it's kind of going and why it's showing up. So if you have a look there, it's got 25 retro courses and 3 cities. It's got 20 courses left to see. You can see its overlaps there, 7 with the Vampire Flyer, 6 with the Jukebox Buggy. Pretty meta, some pretty cool coverage. We've got a lot of ACR appearances, which is a key reason it's showing up really, really well in the ticket time rankings this tour. It has DK Mountain RT, which is a good buff there for the Magma Broom. Might make sense for your account if you don't mind driving brooms. It is very, very good coverage. And then let's move on to the number 1 kart in the game right now, which is the Shielded Speedster. So it is showing up for the first time in the Spotlight shop now. I think last tour is when it first started to show up, and we expected it to get more buffs this tour, but unfortunately for Studfit, who will be wearing his night suit for the 2nd time perhaps, or the 3rd time in this case, it only got 1 ranked appearance. So it's got 17 retros, 5 nitros. It has it didn't get any buffs, so there's not really much point in talking about its coverage. We've talked about it before. Still a very, very good kart. Just because it didn't get any buffs doesn't mean it makes it any less amazing. It still has 117 courses to see, guys, so it will absolutely get its value. Don't you worry about that. It will get its value, so there's not anything to worry about. In fact, some people have been saying they would rather have a kart that gets 1 course each tour, and for a long time, rather than one that just gets 5 and then gets nothing. And while that is true, really we would have hoped for a lot more buffs this tour, being that we had so many awesome new courses and they're all retros. It got heaps of nitro courses last tour, so there you go, the Shielded Speedster, our number 1 card in the game right now. Absolutely phenomenal stuff. Let's move on to the gliders. So taking a look at the top 10 for our gliders, we have in number 10th place the 8-bit 1-up Mushroom. This one is one that's, as always, showing up in the Spotlight shop. A lot of people have purchased it at this point. We've taken a look at it already, but it does have 1 ranked appearance, and it's looking very, very strong. So it's one to check out. Then we've got the Silver Luigi's Moustache in number 9th place, the Black Starchute in 8th place, which we've covered, the Green Cat Parafoil there, which we'll take a look at in a minute, the Vanilla and Chocolate Balloons. the Piranha Plant balloons, Candlelight Flight dropping down 2 places there, Tropical Balloons, Boo Masks, and the Wonderful Wings. So let's jump in quickly and take a look at the Green Cat Parafoil. This is one we haven't looked at in a while, and it is showing up, a lot of the gliders showing up this tour are very animal themed. So it's a good time to look at whether that black cat parafoil we covered before or the green one are of interest to you. This is a green shell glider. A lot of people thought that meant that it would be great. And here we are. It is number 7th on our ticket time rankings. It has the 11 ACR appearances, with 2 of those being in ranked, 22 courses, 8 nitros. It has still 64 courses to see, and then it's got some pretty phenomenal coverage. Looking at the courses it got this tour, it got DK Mountain and DK Mountain RT, so some pretty phenomenal buffs there. A very, very good glider. Unfortunately, it's got that green shell skill, which for me, I'm not a huge fan of it, but for most people, they don't really care. It's more about the coverage. And then in terms of the overlaps, it has 6 with the vanilla and chocolate balloons. It has 5 with the Piranha Plant balloons, 5 with the gold eggshell, 4 with the rose parasol, the secret scroll, a bunch of others, Boo Mask, Wonderful Wings, Candlelight Flight Cake, so on and so forth. So yeah, gliders will always have a lot of overlap. So you've got to look at its exclusives and its coverage for your account. So that's the Green Cat Parafoil. There is one more item that we need to cover before we close out the episode, and that is, of course, the Boo Masks. So you need to look at these gliders, guys. If you didn't catch my BGR tracker video, I would highly recommend you check that out so that you can take a look at that tool as well as ticket time, which I do demonstrate in the video, so you can see which glider or which item is going to be good for your account. So this one, the Black Starchute, the Lava Rocks, these 3 overlap a lot. So you need to look at which one is the right one for you. You'll realize that the 3 came out really within 2 tours of each other. So that's quite common to have a lot of overlap within the same period of time. The Boo Masks is currently our 2nd best glider in the game, number 2. It has jumped up 2 places. It has 6 ACR appearances and 1 of those being in ranked. It still has 117 courses to see, guys, which is pretty insane. And then in terms of what it got this tour, it did pick up the DK Mountain RT, and I think it picked up Mushroom Gorge as well this tour. So some phenomenal coverage there. The 18 courses. There's overlaps 8 with the Black Starchute. Really, you got to pick one, guys. You can't really pick 2 of these gliders. We've all been basically grappling with the same question this tour. Me, Flo, and a whole bunch of others have been asking the same question of each other. So there is no definitive answer, really. It's basically just pick one and run with it. For me, for my main account, it's going to be the Black Starchute. For my free-to-play account, it's going to be the Boo Masks, purely because that's the one that I got access to. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Alright guys, that's the video. I hope you enjoyed going through all of these items. Remember, you can jump around, skip around these items and use this as a reference tool, but I highly recommend you check out the BGR tutorial. I'll link it in the description down below so you can check that full video out on how to set up your inventory, take a look at these items and see where those overlaps are. I also recommend joining us over on Discord. In the MarioKartTour resources channel, you will see the links to all of these resources. This one we've been using tonight is Larry98's data spreadsheet. He works so hard on this, and it is a phenomenal tool to take a look like we're doing right now to see overlaps. I highly recommend it using this coverage and buff potential tab. So check it out in the link in the description below. Like the video if you liked it, sub if you loved it, and come and join us on Discord. Let's have some fun and enjoy the rest of the animal tour. We'll see you in the coming weeks. See you later. Bye-bye.